How elastic is gold supply? If the price keeps going up, will more mines open?
If the price gets to a point beyond which it's no longer a loss but a gain to go get it, they'll go get it.
What would have to happen in the metals market to close your store?
Buy your gold and silver online from SD Bullion. New customers get gold or silver at spot by visiting sdbullion.com/new.
Well, Harry, I have some questions that were submitted in the last video we did.
All right. Hey, Silver Dragons, before we get to the questions, we have a very loyal viewer, a fella named Joe in Florida, sent one of the silverbacks.
Oh, yeah.
And he wanted our autographs, and of course, including yours. Would you mind?
Oh, he wants me to sign it?
Would you please? And then
Sure.
I'll mail this back to him.
There it is. Mine's probably the worst signature of the bunch, but
that's
it's on
the most
there.
important one. That's what he wanted. So thank you, Silver Dragons. We'll get this in the mail to Joe today.
All right, well, Harry, we have the questions here. And the first one, they say, I'm from Austria, and in my country, I have to pay 20% VAT for silver bars and coins. How much do you have to pay in the USA? Is there any difference in tax between new and used silver coins/bars?
Well, a lot of the taxation of bullion is a state-by-state proposition. There is no value-added tax like in the European Union. However, there are some states, including very soon to be Washington State right above us, where there will be a sales tax on bullion. In Oregon, there is no sales tax of any kind, including bullion. California has minimum requirements to avoid that threshold of paying the tax. So it varies state by state, but there is no national value-added tax on bullion. And there's certainly no distinction between old and new.
Next question I'm going to ask to you, Adrian. So they say, my question would be, with the market trending this way, would it be worth trading in slab graded coins and move them into silver and gold? The uncommon/rare side would stay in my collection.
Yeah, so if you have stuff that you're kind of over, or you're thinking of downsizing or getting to the point in your life to where you need to kind of condense things that you have, we do have people that have been turning in their numismatics into silver and gold because it's easier to dispose of for your family. So I would say if you're in that situation, it is a good thing to do if you're done collecting and you're not enjoying the coins anymore and you want to have that, security and have that ease for your family members to deal with your collection. I would say if you're on the other hand, where you have some collectibles that you're still enjoying, but you have a lot of what I call fluff, if you have anything that you're not as attached to and you want to turn into some silver and gold, then I would say, yeah, go for it, because it's a better thing to have because it moves more than collectibles at times.
All right, next question. If someone brought in a handful of Mercury dimes to sell for silver and just happened to have a 1916 D in it and didn't know, what would you tell them?
I'd tell them, congratulations, you have a real treasure here.
I guess a follow-up question, would you even check through all the coins? I mean, if someone brings in say $100 face value, do you just count them up, or how does that work?
It depends. We can usually get an indication from the type of collection that comes in whether it's worth looking at. For instance, if someone brings in a collection, they say it was their father's, and he's got all these albums and all the holes are filled except maybe the rare one, I know that father already searched those dimes to try to fill the holes. And so I would tend not to look at every dime in that situation. On the other hand, if someone says, my father didn't collect, he just thought silver was a good idea in the mid-60s and I've got a coffee can full of it, then we're going to check for those dates. So it's really, you got to use your judgment based on what's presented to you as to whether you think the stuff's been searched or not. But I think the question implies, would a coin dealer, in this case us, let someone know if we encountered a treasure? And the answer is absolutely yes.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many times we've gotten, world coins, sometimes that comes in the poundage, and we're going through it and we'll be like, hey, did you know you have some gold in here? And they'll be like, no. And it's always a nice surprise, right?
It's a fun thing to tell somebody. Let's just be blunt. To discover something like that and to not tell the customer, that would be stealing, and that's just not something I want on my conscience.
Yeah, I would definitely be comfortable bringing all my coins here to sell if I ever want to sell. I'm not trying to right now, but maybe at some point down the road. Next question, how often do coin shops change their buy/sell prices during the day to stay up with market fluctuations?
Well, every morning I look at the price and make any adjustments, if any, necessary. I think this morning I might have to on silver. Last Thursday, I did a morning adjustment and a midday adjustment. So it just depends. If the market stabilizes, say silver's down 56 cents now, within certain parameters, 20, 30 cents of that, one way or the other, I'm probably going to leave it alone. But I certainly reserve the right to change those premiums if necessary during the day, especially in a fast-moving market like this.
So what would be like the most you've ever changed in one day? Like 3 times, 4?
Oh, no, not 3 times or 4. I think twice.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we get a lot of people at times that drive from the coast or from Southern Oregon, and we try to keep our buy prices pretty stable throughout the day so somebody doesn't drive up and it's like, hey, now the price is this, and it helps it be a little more stable for our customers. That way they know what to expect, but also keeps us straight across the board for everyone.
All right, next question. Is 1,000 mercury dimes 90 ounces, I guess, of silver?
No. The tradition in the coin business is that circulated 90% coins are, per dollar, is 0.715 troy ounces. So $100 face value, which is 1,000 dimes, would be 71.5 ounces.
So not quite 90.
Not near 90.
How elastic is gold supply? If the price keeps going up, will more mines open?
Well, sure. Sort of like when oil went back under $30 a barrel some years ago, people said, well, we're not worth taking it out of the ground. The same holds true for any mineral, including gold. If the price gets to a point beyond which it's no longer a loss but a gain to go get it, they'll go get it.
Yeah, and I think a lot of mines too, they have certain areas that they know they could pull it out of the ground, but they're waiting for it to be economically feasible.
But that's anything. You wouldn't milk the cow if it didn't make sense either.
Yeah, that's true. All right, we'll ask you this next one, Adrian. What is the best country outside of the U.S. to buy gold or silver?
I would say usually countries that are rich in the mineral. Mexico for years has been a good place to buy silver. A lot of silver mining there. Also, Central America. Even, Australia. There's a lot of nuggets there, and that's
Or South Africa. on
South
gold.
Africa. Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking like maybe Canada. They do a lot of mining there.
Yeah, they do a lot of mining there. I'd say the United States of America.
Just buy it here, huh?
Buy it here.
Okay, this next one is really interesting. They ask, what would have to happen in the metals market to close your store?
We're open. It doesn't matter what the market's doing. We're always buying and selling. We make a market in this. So I don't think there would ever come a time where we would just close due to the market.
Like, you remember when oil went negative for a day or something weird? So if that happened with gold or silver, I don't know in what circumstance it would, but would you guys still be open?
If gold went negative, we'd be buying big time.
Oh yeah.
They would pay us to take
Bring it all.
Yeah.
But realistically, nothing could happen?
Honestly, if people just stopped buying and selling, I guess we'd be done.
Here's the thing. We're multifaceted. We don't not only do silver and gold, but we also do collectibles. We do watches. We do diamonds. So there's more buckets and more.
And numismatics.
And numismatics,
which
yeah.
don't really get affected too much.
Collectible coins. So
yeah.
It's something that we do, I think, kind of on purpose to kind of not be focused on just one thing. Even though the bullion is a big aspect of the business, we like to be diversified.
All right, I guess this next one's kind of a philosophical one. What is the difference between stacking and collecting silver and gold?
Well, collecting to me always implies something more than just the gold or silver intrinsic value, but rather something to do with the date, the condition, the mint mark, even just maybe if it's bullion, maybe a variety. Maybe someone wants an ounce from all the countries that put out a bullion coin. So it's a little more than stacking because you're very discerning as to what goes in that stack or collection. But for some people, stacking's a new term and collecting is just as useful. In fact, 10 years ago, I'd never heard this term stacking.
Really?
No, I hadn't heard it.
All right, 2 more questions here. This one, which is better to store a coin in, a plastic sleeve or a capsule?
Well, if it depends on what you're trying to accomplish with it. If it's gold, it's definitely softer. I could say put it in a harder container, so I would say a capsule. If you're also trying to prevent silver from tarnishing, a capsule is also another good option. But the flips are always good. If it's something that you don't really care if it's going to tarnish, but you want to protect it more from scratches, then I would say use the flips. So they are, like the 2x2s like these here. But the harder capsules, the airtights, those are good if you don't want your silver to tone.
I will say though that the capsules are more expensive than the flips.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, but again, it just depends on what you're trying to do. I mean, if it's just bullion, I mean, we buy it and sell it the same way.
All right, Harry, the last question here. Which 1 ounce government coins do you think have the best and worst security features? I learned about the Britannia's features and was blown away.
Not sure what they were blown away by, but the current Britannias have rays in the fields and they have privy marks, and so they are pretty secure. I think the U.S. Silver Eagles and frankly the Gold Eagles prior to 2021 left a lot to be desired in the security department because there weren't really any features at all to help protect it from counterfeiting. I think probably the most advanced has been the Canadian maples. They enhanced the field with those thin rays that made it very difficult to counterfeit, and they also started putting that little privy mark with the year in it, with the maple leaf. So I would say, we were probably at the low end prior to 2021, and Canada's been at the high end for a number of years.
One thing I'd like to add to that is it's important to not just check for the features on the bullion or the coins that you're purchasing, but the most important thing is to shop for a good, reputable dealer that you're buying the stuff from. Because you can look for all these security features, but if you're buying it from Joe that you just met at Facebook Marketplace, I mean, you got to be careful. You have to have the right equipment because even some of the features are replicated. So I would say definitely buy from a reputable dealer, whether it be somebody like us or someone online. At least you have somewhere to go to if something is not right.
That's a good point. All right. Well, hey, thank you so much.
Thank you, Silver Dragons.
Thanks a lot, Adrian.
Thank you.
All right, next question. This one's actually from me. Last time I was in here, I tried to buy some, but I couldn't find any updock.
Don't know what that is.
Oh, dang, it didn't work.
Nice try.
Adrian knew what I was trying to do.
He was trying to get you to say what's up, Doc.
Oh.